This is A Story of Sorts, the podcast mostly about bookish stuff, and I am your host, Karina Pereira. I think you would really love Bunny. About 3 people told me this before I had read Bunny. The book was doing the rounds on Instagram at the time, and if I'm not mistaken, I had just read and loved Night Bitch, and then I had Bunny recommended to me by several people, so obviously had to pick up the book. I know there are a lot of people who refuse to read popular books because they believe that is a sign of bad writing. Personally, I am quite neutral about popular books. I have loved some popular books and ended up disliking others, so I don't take the label of popular book in consideration as a decision to read a book or not. I am an avid defender that a lot of things that are popular have a reason to be so, which is not always only marketing, so I am usually down to at least give a popular book a try. Friends, I hated Bunny. Okay, let's maybe tone down a bit because that is also not exactly true. I didn't hate Bunny, I just really didn't care for it or like it. And that was pretty disappointing because when several people tell you you should really read that book because you will love it and then you don't, you can't help but wonder, do they really know me at all? Have they ever? Okay, I'm joking. I am acting dramatic for no reason. I wasn't fussed by Bunny not being for me because I can see why people would have recommended it to me. But reading Bunny and later on Boy Parts, and this one was a personal choice because the blurb seemed pretty interesting, I realized that I like books where women are weird and non-conforming unless they are actually being weird for no reason and even mean to others. Which is not to say I disliked Bunny and Boy Parts for the same reason. They are quite different books. To me, Bunny didn't have a plot that offered enough explanation for me to care about those people. Even the main character, who I was interested in getting to know, seems to not really guide the reader anywhere, as she also, to be fair, doesn't know shit or understand shit. And I couldn't really figure out an explanation for what had happened in the book. It is not offered one either from the book, and to be honest, because at some point in the book I stopped caring, I also couldn't be bothered to find an explanation. I don't like books, usually, when you have to read outside the book to understand the concept of the book. Unless it's a retelling, where you have to know it's a retelling for it to make some sense. Otherwise, I really don't like it. If people tell me, okay, I didn't understand the book either, but I went to a forum where they stop there. I don't want to know what you write in the forum. I need to be able to understand the book without having to read extra material to understand the book. If it's just fiction and not historical fiction or non-fiction, of course. With Boy Parts, it was even worse because I know the reason why the main character was doing what she was doing. She was misbehaving, but the reason wasn't good enough for me to like her or the story. In the end, I found her a brat, and I still stand for that. I'm sorry, but as someone who grew up very obviously ugly and still is, and it's okay, you don't have to tell me I am not, I don't have patience for girls who want to see how far the world allows them to go as a punishment to the world for allowing them to do anything because they're pretty. Okay, boo-hoo. Do you know how tough it is to be an ugly girl in this world? Do you think we all go crazy seeking revenge Carrie style? And Carrie has a point. I'm not saying she didn't, she was bullied, but no. And I know Boy Parts is about something deeper than just a pretty girl going around looking for consequences, but maybe it's because I can't relate. Maybe it's because I dislike unfair comparisons of oppression regarding conventionally attractive people. Maybe it's because I'm ugly. I just didn't vibe with it. If this is something you like to see though, then please read Boy Parts. And if you like weird ass books more for the vibes than an actual coherent or rather explanative plot, pick up Bunny Up. There is a reason why both these books are popular, and it isn't because they are bad, even if they didn't work for me. This episode was not an attempt at guiding you away from any of these books, and I honestly wish I had loved them both because I went in believing I would. But it was also very helpful to know that while I can empathize with characters who aren't good or are straight up evil, I need a reason to do so. There has to be a redeeming quality in them, if you will. There has to be an acceptable reason why these characters turn to evil, and a point to it as well. And for those who have recommended Bunny to me and then were probably disappointed or at least surprised I didn't like it, please never stop recommending me books. I have had books recommended by the same people that I love, so please continue recommending me books. Thank you. And just know that I don't like mean people for the sake of being mean. There has to be a deeper reason. So that will guide you into a better direction. So yeah, these are my thoughts on both Bunny and Boy Parts. Maybe this will actually compel you to read them, and if so, please come and talk to me about it. You can access today's show's notes on my Substack, which you can find along with all of my social media links at linktree/Carina Pereira. If you have enjoyed this episode, please consider donating to my Ko-fi page, using my Libro.fm referral to purchase an audiobook, or simply leaving a review. Don't forget to subscribe to be notified when the next episode goes live. Talk to you then, and thank you for listening.